in agriculture model, busting myths and investing in the reality. So I think actually previous eminent scientists and professionals, they pointed out a lot of information, lot of scientific evidences with facts and figures, statistical data, not opinions. So especially that Professor Indika Karunaratne, that medical professional. So I picked some keywords from his presentation. Agriculture has a direct relationship for the social determinants of the health. Then food, if you talk about the food security, sufficient quantities should be provided at an affordable price. Then the policymakers, the rational decision making is necessary. Those are the keywords that I picked. Again, he explained about a big myth. What? That plant products without using agrochemicals are safety food. These are the myths he talked. So thank you, Professor Indi Karunaratne. Again, Dr. Nugaliyadde, Professor Nugaliyadde, he explained about the pesticides. Most of our pesticides are green label pesticide. Still, that means we are in safety mode. Then Professor Saman Dharmakirti, so he explained how other countries use fertilizer. In that comparison also, we are in safety mode. And he very clearly explained about the importance of integrated plant nutrient system. Then if I go to Professor G. Vika's presentation, I think you can remember everything. He talked about the economic terms and the gradually the fertilizer usage or everything should be reduced. This is the way to face this challenge. Then while their presentations are going on, Mr. Farad Mohammed, I saw in the chat box, he made a very good comment. So his question is, what is the alternative? And he proposed, introduce good agriculture practices. Thank you, Mr. Farad. So as you proposed, today my presentation topic is good agriculture practices kept as the stepping stone for the green agriculture model. Ladies and gentlemen, now recently His Excellency, our President, appointed a task force. This is the Gazette notification. That is task force for the creation of green socio-economy in sustainable solutions for climate changes. So in order to accomplish this task, he mentions 25 tasks in this Gazette notification. So today, what we are presenting here is totally on par, in line with, related with this 7 tasks. I will read it. So formulating and launching a program for the production of toxin-free fruits, increase food supply, identification of areas where such farming is done locally and farmers involved in such farming, increase production and distribution by popularizing such foods nationally and internationally. So this is the Gazette notification says in under 25 tasks. This is the task number 7. So today what we are presenting is totally in line with this Gazette notification task force task. So what is the objective of this good agriculture practices? Yeah, ensuring availability of safe and quality assured agriculture produce towards consumers through a sustainable farming system. That is the main objective of the GAP program. And ladies and gentlemen, the GAP program is not a magic. This is not a miracle. These, you can see the global gap. Then you can see this, here you can see my cursor, Japanese gap, Sri Lankan gap, Vietnam gap, then Malaysian gap, this is Thai gap, this is Cambodia gap, then this is China gap. You can see all over the world now the trend is the practicing good agriculture practices. So by practicing good agriculture practices, so you can minimize the usage of agrochemicals. So you can have a pesticide or agrochemicals or free foods. So GAP approach is, there are 3 stages: physical approach, biological approach and chemical approach. So finally, we use the chemical approach. So ladies and gentlemen, so I will move to the next slide because of time limitation. So why we should promote GAP? Being an approach that can increase the income of farmers, reduce cost of production by optimizing input use, better prices of quality, safe agriculture produce for exports, saving foreign exchange expenditure on agrochemicals. Yeah, these are the keywords: saving foreign exchange on expenditure on agrochemicals, because we can reduce agrochemicals usage in line with the existing government policy. This is totally in line with the current government policy. Providing quality and safe agriculture products to ensure to consumers while conserving the environment. So let me explain why Sri Lanka started GAP, Good Agriculture Practices Program. I think you can remember in 2014, we experienced a bad, we had a bad experience, that fish ban. Likewise, we had a threatening, alarming signal from the Brussels embassy that they are going to, they have a problem with our fruits and vegetables because of fruit fly, availability of fruit fly. And they are telling no signs of the situation is getting better, and the number of interceptions with harmful organisms are on the rise. So then they have suggested, that the European Union has suggested so many actions to be immediate actions to be taken by Sri Lanka government. So we will see the number 3, taking urgent and concrete action to improve the current situation. And if not taken before 30th September 2014, safeguard measures we may aim at imposing import restrictions. Yeah, this is the import restriction. Then they suggest to carry out an audit on phytosanitary exports control Sri Lanka. This is the threatening. Even this alarm signal also came not because of chemicals, not because of agrochemicals, came because of fruit fly availability. Then, ladies and gentlemen, in 2015, what our Sri Lankan government did, so Department of Agriculture, under the guidance of Ministry of Agriculture, they implemented a strong field sanitation program that is conducted by the National Plant Quarantine Service. Then Good Agriculture Practices program by the Extension Training Center. So those approaches are totally succeeded because better control of pesticide incidence through IPM, limited use of agrochemical. They have increased the our quality by using these approaches. Then finally, the quality confirmed that through two European Union audits, they have confirmed: 1, improvement of phytosanitary conditions and pesticide residues below European Union minimum residual levels. This is the success story at the very first stage. Then after all the audits, European Union audits, in 2000 February, they sent us a very recommendation. So the blue underline sentence is very important. So increase the effectiveness of export controls and the certification system. The report concludes that Sri Lanka has significantly improved. This is the keyword: significantly improved the system of phytosanitary controls for exports to the European Union through the registration of producers, approval of pack houses, and creation of dedicated inspection teams. So this is the approach in some years back, Department of Agriculture with provincial departments of agriculture under guidance of Ministry of Agriculture practice. So, but throughout the departmental history, department scientists, extensionists were telling to the farmers that they disseminate this knowledge of integrated plant nutrient system, IPNS, IPM. Those are the key agriculture principles used in Sri Lanka GAP. Because Sri Lankan GAP standards are not a miracle, but practically what we can do in the field. So IPNS, integrated plant nutrient system, even Professor Dharmakirti's presentation also, he very clearly highlighted how we can use plant nutrient system, integrated system. So that is balanced use of organic and inorganic fertilizer. The GAP system, always extension is, researchers, they say organic matter improvement is a must, specifically with the mandatory soil test report and site-specific fertilizer application. High emphasis is given for the subsurface soil organic matter improvement. That is the base of the IPNS system. Then integrated pest management. So use of preventive measures, mechanical, biological methods, and pesticide is used as a final control measure, right? So after all this IPNS and IPM methodology, usage of agrochemicals can be reduced up to 50%. This is the most important finding statement. Usage of agrochemicals can be reduced up to 50% by practicing these good agriculture practices. For example, crop protection in the integrated pest management. So protective fence, you can see here insect-proof nets. By using even ladies' saris also, you can do this, as you can do as a protective fence. Pod covering here, light traps, then pheromone traps, insect repellent lamps. Those are the things we can use by integrated pest management system. Then we will see what are the basic requirements in Good Agriculture Practices program. So there are 4 basic requirements maintained in the farm environment in accordance with the recommendations of the relevant GAP standard. Use of imports without compromising the safety and quality of agriculture products is important. Use of inputs without compromising the safety and quality. Maintaining farm records, fulfilling the requirement for the traceability. So we always increase the traceability and accountability. So if I just read all the requirements of the GAP program, it totally covers entire farm production cycle. For example, requirements of farmland, factors related to soil and soil conservation, always soil conservation and soil part. Increasing the biodiversity of the soil part is given emphasis on this GAP program. Then factors related to seeds and planting material, plant nutrient management, water usage. Water usage also, we have to use the SLS standards, the crop protection, harvesting and post-harvest management, farm waste management, worker healthy, safety and welfare. This is a very critical issue, because if you go to any World Bank project, IFAD project, FAO project, or any foreign funder project, there should be a social safeguard measures. So in this GAP program also, in closing to the with related to the international standards, worker healthy safety is ensured. Then farm records for the traceability and accountability. Then in this good agriculture practice system, national standards body, SLSI standards we use, and Sri Lanka standards, they have published their volumes for fresh fruits and vegetables, and paddy published in 2019. So these are this criteria the farmer has to practice to be a GAP farmer. Ladies and gentlemen, this program was launched with the technical support of many stakeholder organizations. For example, Department of Agriculture, Sri Lanka Standards Institute, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Health, Institute of Post-Harvest Technology, Export Development Board, Faculty of Agriculture, specifically University of Peradeniya, the private sector and stakeholder holders. Then you can see there were multi-stakeholder approach to design the GAP program. That's why this is we are talking today. So there's a success story. This is a second success story. First success story was the European Union ban we could control. This success story that in 2020, Department of Agriculture, they have done a very nice pesticide residue analysis in locally grown crops, right? Especially the upcountry and low country vegetables were analyzed for pesticide residues, right? They did the research in Nuwara and Puttalam district. Sample size was 60. Good GAP 23 samples, then non-GAP 37 samples. The number of insecticide and fungicide tested was 36. Then altogether, 2,160 replicates were tested for the residual effect, residual levels. Then out of 36, residues of 6 pesticides were detected in non-GAP samples. You see, out of 36 samples, residues detected 6 pesticides, right? Then out of 36 residues, only 1 pesticide was detected in GAP samples, that is acetamiprid, right? Ladies and gentlemen, the most important thing is all detected levels are below the international codex and European Union minimum residual levels, right? That is the important statement I have to make, because that even our Professor Indika Karunatilaka's presentation also, he very clearly mentioned from 2016 up to 2018, our pesticide use was significantly reduced. He has shown the slide, I can remember. Then what are the challenges in GAP program? So inadequacy of testing facilities, soil samples, water sample testing, mobile product testing kits, then shortcomings of government policies and regulations related to safe and quality assured food production. Even though 2015, Ministry of Agriculture, Department of Agriculture and Provincial Department of Agriculture started this GAP program, that government intervention is not enough. Thus, government priority emphasis should be given from top level, His Excellency level, Parliament level, priority should be given. That's today what we present, today what we propose. So then let's awareness among consumers, right? Lack of research on alternative pest control measures, lack of collaboration among universities, Department of Agriculture, relevant institutes. This is also very important point. Now there are almost, I think if I am correct, I think I'm correct. There are 9 agriculture faculties scattered in Sri Lanka. So all the agriculture faculty, there are eminent professionals, eminent scientists. So, but unfortunately, no proper system, no proper fund flow system to give government department funds, ministry funds to the faculties to conduct collaborative research. So that official linkage should be developed. So, and the funding is also a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, after completing all these requirements, the GAP farmers are eligible to have this certificate. These certificates includes category vegetables, extent, what is the extent, then GAP number, then number of production sites, for example, how many polytunnels, or where it is, right, with a QR code. These QR codes, right, with a smartphone, you can trace where is that farm, what is he doing, which season, all the farm level records are available in this QR code. That means the GAP process always ensure the traceability and accountability. So with this brief presentation, let me conclude my presentation today. This thank you slide also give a message. This is the Tom EJC mango, right? Includes Sri Lankan GAP logo. This the Sri Lankan famous food city. There's a food corner of food city. There's a Sri Lankan GAP logo, vegetables. So with this presentation, let me conclude my presentation. So thank you very much.